Hey guys, this is Seaweed with Tribal Soup Project, and welcome to the first ever episode of SIMsational. I am super duper stoked to start sharing everything that I know and love about The Sims 4 with you guys. And I really hope that you guys are going to enjoy watching my videos as much as I know that I'm going to enjoy making them. Who knows, you might even learn something too. Speaking of learning, this first series that I'm going to make is going to cover just about everything I know about building amazing sim structures. This first video in particular is going to go over all the building tools and pretty much geared towards people who are just beginning to build, mostly, covering what all the tools are with a brief explanation of what they do. It can be a real challenge to know where to start when you first beginning building structures yourself. And when I think back to when I was just beginning to build, I think what really helped me a lot was just understanding the tools and how they work. Like I said, this video will give a very brief explanation of what the tools do and how they work. I'll make everything really simple, and hopefully by the end of the video, you will see just how easy it is to build a really great structure with very little knowledge. The episodes after this one will be covering more advanced usage of the tools to kind of help you fine-tune your building abilities. So yeah, with that said, let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we're going to cover are the tools up here in the actual toolbar. You have the arrow, which of course allows you to select things. The next one is the eyedropper tool, and the eyedropper tool will make a duplicate of anything you click on with it. The next tool is the design tool. With the design tool, you can change the color of any objects that have that option to be a different color. The next one is the sledgehammer. With the sledgehammer, you can easily delete anything that you don't want on your lot, including doors and walls and entire porches, anything like that. You have the undo, which of course does anything that you had just done. Then next to it, the redo. This next button is a kind of an important button to know. It's the information panel, and this allows you to name your lot. You can put in how many beds and baths. And this is where you can also change the venue of your lot, like a cafe. This here tells you everything your lot will need to actually be considered a legitimate cafe in your world. So we're going to go with the residential lot. This next button here allows you to save your lot. You can save your lot if once you open that, this screen will open. If you click this button here, it'll save it to just your library, where only you will be able to see it and have access to it. But if you click this one over here, the lot is going to share to the gallery, allowing all the other simmers out there to be able to download what you have made, which is really cool. This next one here is the move lot or house. We don't have anything built yet, so I'm going to go ahead and come back to that. This one here, the Bulldoze, will completely demolish every single thing on the lot. If we were in Oasis Springs, where everything is basically sand, and I had built up a house and I had a nice green yard on the lot, when I use the Bulldoze tool, it will bulldoze everything from the house and objects to the terrain paint as well. This button up here allows you to toggle the time of day that you're viewing the lot. And this is kind of important when you're building too, so that you can actually see what everything looks like. I usually keep it in afternoon. Then when I've got everything all built, I like to toggle over to nighttime when I put in all my lights so I can make sure that everything is well lit for my Sims and myself viewing. One cool little tip also about these tools up here, and actually whenever you have anything selected, if you have one of the tools up here selected or an object selected that you decide you're not going to use, a really quick way to get rid of it is to just hit escape on your keyboard and it automatically goes back to that pointer arrow. Same thing with any of the tools. I have the design selected. If I hit escape, it instantly goes away and I'm back with my arrow. So now that you're familiar with all the buttons up here on the toolbar, we're going to go ahead into the building tools themselves, making sure I have my arrow selected. You have all these categories here on the side that tells you the different kind of tools to use. You have the top one, the little house, which is the actual building tools where you build your walls and you have your roofs and stuff like that. Underneath that is the objects by room. I know when I was first starting to build and to buy objects when playing The Sims, I always looked for my objects by room because I didn't really know what all was available to me, and it was just easier for me to see it like this. Once you become a little bit more familiar and you basically know everything that there is available to you, it's much easier to search for them by function. Like I have comfort selected, so that means I can find any object that has to do with comfort, from beds to chairs, anything like that. I just change it by going here. If I go to decorations, I'll see a list of anything that's considered a decoration on here, anything like that. And then also down here, you have your household inventory, which this house doesn't belong to anybody or anything like that. It's not going to be available to me. But if there was an inventory for you to pull things from in the household, then you would be able to place things into the inventory and pull things out of there. So, okay, we're going to go ahead and start with the build tools. And the first build tool we're going to use, obviously, is going to be to place some walls of our cool little structure we're going to build. This first one allows you to basically freehand draw all your walls. This one will do that, as well as this one here. With this one selected, you can just draw walls at will, like that. Make a room like this. Once you have your once you have your walls all in place and you have an actual room, you can then resize the room any way you want. You click on it to make sure it's selected like it is, and you can pull out the walls and rearrange in any way that you want. Also, when you have it selected, you see how I have this here, this little box opened up. And what this does is if I click this one, it'll pick up the room and move it. I can rotate my room either way. And then this right here, this allows your walls to be different sizes. Most of the structures I enjoy building are really big structures, so I almost always use the tallest wall I can get. This one, I think we're actually going to go with a medium-sized wall, so I'm going to have that selected. Then anything else I build onto this, any other rooms, anything on this floor, all the walls are going to match in size. So that's that. Like I said, this is also another freehand room tool where you just click, drag. You can see your points where you've done it, and then it'll stop once you've got your whole room done. This next one here is the basement tool, and with this tool, on the floor above your basement, you can have many different levels of basements, by the way. When you have this selected, I usually, if I'm going to do a basement, I make it over the entire lot. Or at least the biggest you can go is 1 square in from the entire lot. And you can see how it made the sound and kind of jumped, letting me know that the basement has been drawn, but we're still on this floor, so we can't see the basement. We can easily see it by going down the floor, and there it is. And once I start beginning to build the rooms in my basement, I can use just the regular wall tool, just like I would up on ground level. So the next way you can build your walls are by using these room tools. And these really make it so super easy to use. This is a really nice feature. All you do is you decide what size room you want to, or what shape room you want to have, triangle, square, whatever. And you just place it anywhere you want on your lot. And I think I'm going to start off right here with this. I'm going to drag it out to be about that size. That looks good. Maybe move it over a little. There we go. You could do this with any of them. If you want to have this one, you can make it bigger just by pulling out the things. So that's makes it really super easy to do. And then you can connect all your rooms together, you know, using the same tool. So I think the next room's going to be like this. And I'm going to drag this out to here. Maybe make it, no, that's too big. About right there. Then I think I want to do right here would be good. Just like that. Super easy and simple. You can begin building your second level. If you want to have an upstairs, you do it the same way. You can either place your room and drag it to be whatever size you want, or you can use the freehand wall tool and just draw your walls up. That's what I usually do. I usually do it like that. So now that I have all my walls done, I can go ahead and start thinking about the porch. These are the porch tools down here. There's two different kinds of the porch tools, as you can see. You can put a porch on that doesn't have a fence, or you can go ahead and put a porch on that does have a fence. It's totally up to you how you want to do it. I usually do it without the fence at first, and then I add my fences later. Basically works the same way as these room tools do. You just pick out your shape and then place them anywhere you want. I'm going to go with this square one here. Once I have my porch placed and selected, you just do it the same way you did with the rooms, and you just drag it on out. I think actually I want to make this a little bit bigger. About right there is good. Oops. Okay. A really cool feature that the porches have that the walls do not have is the option of making this curve here. You do it the same way. I want to have kind of a wraparound porch that goes. So I'm going to select my flat round. I'm going to place it. I'm going to rotate it so the curve is where I want it to be. And then I just move it to place it. And I think I want it to be right here like that. Okay, I've got that placed, and now I can just continue to drag it all the way around to where I want it to be. I'll do it all the way to here. Okay. You can add balconies using the same tool. The easiest way to do this is by making sure you're on whatever floor you want the balcony to be, and obviously it's going to be on the second floor because I only have 2 floors. What I usually do is I put my room like that, just so that I can make sure on the outside of the boundary so that I don't remove the wall. As you can see, I have the porch picked up, and it's showing me, it's highlighting where it's going to place. If I were to place it in here, then I'm going to lose my wall. So I want it to be right on the edge like this. Okay, see, it's right on the edge. I still have my wall there. And then I just drag it to be however I want it to be. Think like that. About like that. Cool. So now I have my balcony that's right there. And now I'm ready to start placing my fences. There's a couple different ways you could place fences. You come over here to the little fence tool and you will see all the different kinds of fences you can have. If you're going to be placing a fence around the entire perimeter of your lot, the easiest way to do that is by using the place fence enclosure tool, and you just click on that and then you begin in the corner of your lot and you drag it out. Just like with the walls and whatnot, you cannot place walls or fences on the exact line of the perimeter of the lot. It has to be one square in. So I think I'm going to place this cobblestone fence. What color do we? Yeah, that's a good color. And I'm just going to start in the corner. And I am going to drag it so that it encloses the entire perimeter of my lot. Another way you can add the fences is by drawing them freehand, just like we did with the rooms. I think I'm going to go with this white picket fence here. And I'm going to place my fences around my porch like this. You, of course, cannot draw on the curve. So we'll leave that part for last while I get these up. Just like that. And then when you're ready to place your fence along your curve, you would come down here to where this says replace fences, and it will just add your fence there. And like it said, like the tool says, it's a replace fence. So if I wanted to change the cobblestone out to be a white picket, I would just have the replace fence tool and it will go ahead and add it on automatically. You can also do this on the straight line. It makes it super easy, just like that. Same fence for the balcony. And there you have all your different fences. Of course, now that we've got our fence surrounding the perimeter of our lot, our Sims are going to need to be able to actually get into the lot. So we need to add a gate into the fence. So all you do to do that is you just come over here to where the gates are and you click that and you'll see all the gates that are available to you. You can pick out any one you want. You can choose what color it is by clicking the little color swatches next to it. I think I'm going to go with a brown and white wooden door fence, just like this right there. Real quick, just so you know, if you have a fence that's a really tall fence, such as this one here, you will not be able to place a gate that is too small for it. This won't place. So you're going to need to pick out a gate that is of an appropriate size, such as that one. So it's good to keep that in mind when you're going to do that. The next tool we're going to go over is the columns and spandrels, which is right over here. You can grab any column you want and you can place them wherever you want. I'm going to place these columns right here on the four corners of this little square room I have. You can place columns on top of each other, just like that, if I wanted to do that. The tool attached to that is the spandrel, and what this does is it makes a cool little decoration over the top of wherever you're going to put it. If I have my spandrel selected, I can go ahead and I think I'm going to make, instead of having this be an inside room, I'm going to make this as part of the porch and add these spandrels here. You can place the spandrel without the columns being there also, like this. And then you can move your columns on there. And as you can see, when I'm about to, I've got to come down to this level. When I place this, the spandrel changes so that it's actually attached to the column like that. So that makes it really easy as well. All right, so I think this is starting to come together really well. I think I want to bring this wall in just one space. And then I want to extend it out further, just by a couple spaces. I think maybe two, maybe, yeah, 3 spaces is good. No, just 2. Go back one. Okay. Pull that out too. Pull this out too. This is gonna move right to the edge of here. Oops. 2, 2. Oops. Like that. Pull this out to match. Let's see. Well, that is starting to look good, I think. Oh, this one has to go back too, obviously. Go. This one here. And then I think I want to put a couple columns here to make it not seem like this balcony is kind of just like floating in the middle of nowhere by itself. And I think I'm going to add a spandrel under there so that it have a little bit of decoration. I've added my spandrel. It's too long because it automatically places. But I just come in here with a sledgehammer and delete everything that I don't want. That. Let's see. Nope, it's not going to let me put it underneath. Okay, that's all right. All right, so that is looking really good. And now that I've got basically the main outline of my structure built, I think first of all, I want to center it more on the lot. So I'm going to come up here to the move. I'm going to select move house. You can either move the house or you can move the entire lot. If you're going to move the entire lot, you select that. It'll allow you to pick it up and move it, or you can rotate it however you want. We're not doing that. We just want to move the house itself so it's centered on the lot. So now that I've got move house selected, I click on the house. And as you can see, the entire outline of just the house is selected. And now I can move it over. Let's see. I think that's a lot more centered. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. That's okay that it's not exactly in the center because all I have to do to fix it is to just pull this porch out like that. And now I've got 6 spaces on each side of my house, making it completely in the center of the lot. So that's great. All right, so now that we have got that done, we could start thinking about what kind of roof we want to put on. So obviously you're going to go over here to this little house and select roofs, and you will see all the different types of roofs that you can put on your home. And of course, we're going to start out with this gabled roof. You just select your roof and you place it anywhere you want on your home. Once you've got it on there, you can move it, you can rotate it, and then just like with the rooms, you can grab these arrows and pull them out so they're whatever size you want them to be. Once you've got your roof, whatever size you want it to be, you can change the height of the roof, and that's too dramatic for me, so I'm going to lower that down a little bit. I think that looks good. You can add on other roofs attached to that. I'm going to do another gabled roof, and place it on, but I want it to be the other way, so I'm going to rotate it. Then I'm going to pull it out here like this, and then all I'm going to do is I am going to drag it so that it connects with this very nicely. I think I have to, do I have to raise it or lower it? Yep, just lowered it just a little bit, and as you can see, it lines up really flush. You have to be careful after you've placed multiple roofs together. See how I have this little lip down here that I don't want? The way I'm going to fix that is I'm just going to pull this one out ever so slightly so that goes away. And I think that looks real good. You have down here, you've got your hipped roof. That's what that one looks like. You do it the same way, obviously. We're not going to go with that one. We're going to go on to this half-hipped roof, and these, or the half-gabled roof, whatever one you want to choose. I'm going to go with the half-hipped roof. This is a good one. If you're going to put your roof up against a wall, like this is going to be here. This is a pretty small area, so it's already of the right size that I want it to be. If you have a bigger area, just like everything else, you just drag the arrow to put it however you want to have it. These down here, these roofs with the arrows, allow you to place a roof diagonally. If you're one of those weird people who like to put diagonal rooms on your lot. I hardly ever use any of these myself. The only times I use them is if I'm going to do a Victorian roof, which I'm not going to cover that now. That's pretty in-depth, but I will be covering it in a later episode where I am talking all about roofs and different things you can do. But it's done just in the same way as any of them. You just grab them, place them, and that's basically it for that. Once you've got your roofs all placed where you want them, you can change the pattern of them. I think I am going to go with this one. No, this one, I think. This gray one. Yeah, I think that looks nice. Just so you know, with some of these building tools, you know, when you have these swatches to pick a different color of whatever, if you have your design tool on, you cannot change the color of things like roofs or fences using the design tool. You can do that with like different objects and stuff, but with a lot of these actual building things, you can't change the color with that. You'd have to actually go in. If I wanted a different color cobbled fence here, I'd have to go ahead and select the color I want and then replace the fence itself. You can't use the design tool, just so that you're aware of that. Okay, but now that I've got the color roof I want picked out, I can go ahead and add a trim if I want by selecting your trims right here. If you like it really dramatic, you can have a really big one. I don't think I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with this one here, just enough so that it gives it a nice little edge there. Once you've got your trim on there, you can add what's called a freeze. This is kind of like a trim that goes around the top of your walls on the outside. I think, yep, this second floor wall, you see how it's a really short wall. These freezes, you have to have at least the medium-sized wall selected. So I'll go ahead and make that medium sized, and the one I want is this one. And as you can see, this really adds a lot of character to your home when you put it on. You can also, when you place a freeze, sometimes when you place it on there, you see how I have the fence perimeter of my porch? I can make it so that the freeze extends all the way out, or it's up against the wall. You can play with that, decide how you want to do it. It's a really nice little feature. It'll make your structure pop really well, especially if you like to share to the gallery, a lot of times when the game camera takes the shot of the house, it'll be like a really bad angle and it looks really flat. Well, when you use these freezes, it can really help give it that little extra three-dimensional look that you really want to get, so you can get a good picture on there and people will be attracted to downloading that. Okay, so now that I have my main freeze in place, I can go ahead and I can do an exterior trim. And what this does is it adds a trim to where you have between floors. You can also use this. This is a good thing to use to kind of box in the bottom of your balcony like that. I think that actually looks way better than the spandrel, so I'm going to keep it at that. And you can choose whatever one you want. Again, choose whatever color you want from the swatches. And with that done, we are ready to go ahead and pick out what color we want our walls and floors to be. And actually, before I do that, I think I want to add on a additional freeze right around here. That looks much better all boxed in like that. Yeah. Okay, so now we can go ahead and pick out the color of our house. You come over here to the wall patterns or wall tiles, whatever you want to call them. I'm going to go with the siding and brick. I think blue. Yeah, that looks good. You can either place your tiles individually, like this, or you place your tile on here, and then you hold down Shift on your keyboard, and it boxes in the entire outside of the house. Or you could also do that same method on the inside, and it'll do just the room you're working on. Let's see, I think the second floor, we're going to go with this one, like that. Make sure it continued all the way around. Good, that looks good. Add this up here at the top. Just like that. All right. It didn't continue on with this corner on the top floor, so I'm just going to go ahead and put a column there just to make it kind of match a little better. As you can see, when I place this column, it's on the inside when it's like this, outside like that. So there we go with that. And I think that looks really great. So now I can do the floor tiles, and you do the floor tiles in the same way. You come over here to the floor pattern button, and this will give you all your different kinds of floors you could have. You could have wood, carpet, tile, so on and so forth. Since we're working on the outside, we're going to go ahead with one of these stone tiles, I think. Let's see. Oh, I like this one. We'll go ahead with this flagstone, this white flagstone, and just like with the wall tiles, you can place them individually like this, or you can place them, you just put the floor tile on it, and then you press Shift, and it gets the entire floor for you. Good. We'll do the same for the balcony. Just like that. Very simple. And I'm now ready to start thinking about my foundation. Basically what the foundation tool does, it allows you to kind of raise your structure up so that you can place stairs going up onto the porch, or so that your entire structure is raised up off the ground. This is located right under here, underneath the floor tile or the stylized room button. You'll click on that. And as you can see right here, you have your foundation slider. It changes the height of your foundation. You can put it all the way up like that to whatever height you want it at. We don't need it too high up. I think just like that'll be good. Once you've got your foundation risen, you can pick out what you want it to look like. These are all the different ones. I think for this, it's kind of like a little country house. So I'm going to go with the lattice foundation. And you just choose the one you want and you place it on there. Very simple. And we're now ready to go ahead and place our stairs. First, actually, I think I better box this in over here. There we go. Okay, so all you do to add your stairs is you just come down here to the stair tool. You pick out the one you want, including the color. We're going to go with this brick. And you grab your stairs, and the way you turn the stairs is you just hold down your mouse, and then you drag it to whichever way you want it to go. You can place your stairs, and then you can use the rotate to turn it. So once you got your stairs picked out, you grab it, you come over here to where you want it, and you just click. Now, what I did here when I placed this, it makes it so that there's a lip popped out past the porch. You don't have to do it like that. You can just, if you move it back a little, it'll be flush up against the edge of the porch there. And then we have the drag arrows, and we just drag it over like that to however we want it. And that looks really good. We can place some in the back over here. We'll go with the same ones, just like that. And as you can see, I put it right by where the fence was. And when you add the stairs, the fence just magically goes away. Once you've got your stairs placed, you could add a banister or railing. Let's see, I think we're going to go with this one to match our fence that's surrounding the porch. I think that one matches the best with that. And there you go. And that is starting to look like a really nice house, I think. When you place the stairs on the inside of the house, you do it in the same way. You have to, of course, place your stairs on the lower floor. Say I was going to do this, wherever you would want it to be. And then you would just drag it to whatever size you want. And there you go. You've got your stairs on the inside also. But we're not going to do that right now. So we're going to get rid of that. And we're going to go ahead and move on to the doors and the windows. You just come over here to the little house again and click on your doors, and you will have all the different doors at your disposal. As you can see here, these are the different height of the doors. I used all medium walls on the top and the bottom floor, so I could do doors that are as high up as this one. This one, obviously, though, that won't fit. So my front door, I think, oh, and these wall tiles did not continue around here. Let me go ahead and fix that. There we go. Okay, so the door that I'm going to use for the front door, let's see. I'm going to use this one, I think. And now these doors, as you can see, they are all different lengths. You've got as long as 3, 2, or 1 space for your doors. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead with this one and place this at my front door. And then I'm going to come around here to the back And I think the one for the back, we're going to make it just a little bit different and do this one. That looks good. Okay. And now I'm ready to place my windows. You can also, by the way, these arches, you can use, on the inside or outside. Sometimes when I make a porch, I'll actually make this a wall instead of a fence like this. And then what I'll do is I will add in these arches. That's not the right place. They're down here. Like that. To give kind of a cool, I guess, Spanish look. Maybe kind of like a Florida look. So anyways, okay. We're ready to place these windows. And again, these windows are all different heights. You've got short, medium, tall. When you're building and you're deciding on your wall sizes, it's a good thing to kind of consider if you have a certain type of window that you want to use to make sure that you have the walls and the windows at the same height. So we're going to choose, I think we're going to go with this one. And you just place them anywhere you want on your home. One there, there, and then upstairs here and here. No, we're not going to have one there. And then we'll go here. Make sure as you're continuing on that, that you have your window at the same height as the other windows, because you could drag these windows down and up like this, which is another really cool feature of The Sims 4. I guess we're going to do it like that. Then we'll come over here and do 1, 2, 1, 2. That's right? Yep. Okay. And then we'll go back here. Do 1, 2 there. 1, 2 there. The same on the top. And then I'm going to pick out a door for my balcony. We'll just go with this one right there. And then let's see if I have enough room on either side to put. No, I don't like how that looks. But what I can do, I think this one will look good. Is that about, yeah, that, no. Yeah. Let's see what else we got down here. I think maybe just this one would look good on either side of the door. Yeah, that looks nice. Okay, and now we got to continue around the other side. Too much. Yeah, that looks good. Very nice indeed. And you can add windows up here on when you have the gabled roof like this. You can add windows up on there also. I think this one will probably look really good right there. It's not in the center. It is not in the center. Nope, I ain't putting that there then. But I think it might work here. No, I don't like how that looks either. Let's see what else we could do. Something else looks good. Oh, that looks good, I think. Yeah, that looks nice. I think maybe we won't do it on that side. We'll just do it on the front and the back. Like that. Yes. And that really looks like a house, and it was super easy and quick to do. And we are ready to go ahead and pick out some roof and window sculptures if we decide to use those. Come up here to the top of the roof where the chimney is, and you will see all the different roofing sculptures that you can add on to your roof. I think I'm just going to go ahead and put a chimney on there. Maybe this one here. Does that kind of match the brick? No, it doesn't really match the brick that well. How about this one? That's a little better, but let's see if we have a better match. There we go. That's a good one. Okay, you can add your chimney wherever you want. As you can see as I zoom in, if you put it, you can put it on the side of the roof like this, or you could take it and put it directly in the center like that. You can turn it any which way. I think that I'm going to have my chimney I don't know. I think maybe just right here, kind of in the center. I don't really like how that looks personally. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to have any roof sculptures on this one. I'm not really thrilled with the way that looks. So, but that's how you do it. You could put that on. You could put this one on. This would go like, you know, right against the top if you have more of a lip. So, anyways, let's move on to the window sculptures, and this is where you have all your little overhangs. You can add these on, like if I have my roof is stretched out further, where you would have one of those things that looks like it's kind of holding the roof up. But we're not going to do that. You can, this is where all of your flower boxes are located down here. I think we're going to go with it as a blue house. Maybe let's do yellow flowers on the blue house. That makes it really pop, I think. And you can add these sculptures wherever you want. So we're just going to put them on here. These window, a lot of times when you're adding flower boxes, you're going to want a flower box on every single window to make it a little easier on yourself. If you hold down Shift on the keyboard, it will automatically make it so that it duplicates whatever it is you're adding. We'll just go ahead and put one on every window like that. Is this where I put it? Yep. Around here. Like that. Well, unfortunately, we can't get this one on here because I think it's having a problem because it's intersecting with that column. So what we're going to do is we are just going to remove the two on that side like that. Maybe we'll have no flower boxes on the windows on either side. I like things to kind of be symmetrical, so there. Okay. This is also where you can add your vines that go up your walls. If I wanted to have some climbing vines like that, then I could do that. So that is how you do the window and roof sculptures, making us ready to move on to the pool. So we're going to add a little pool in the back. And you just come over here and you click on the pool. And you'll have all your different tools that allow you to place your pool. This first one works kind of like the fence enclosure. What you'll do is you'll click on that. And you'll start at where you want the corner of your pool to be. And you'll just drag it like this. And that's where your pool will be. When you're placing your pool, you'll see how If I put it back too far, how those stairs are highlighted, that means when the pool is placed that those stairs are going to go away. If I pull it out even further, you'll see how the pool enclosure has turned red. That means that I can't place my pool there and nothing's going to happen. So anyways, I'm going to make my pool like this. But first, let me go ahead and show you. This here is where you can freehand draw the pool. You'll do it just like you did with the walls. You'll click, drag, click. Just do it however you want, like that, until you've got the entire thing boxed in. You can also place your pool just like with the different room tiles, and once it's placed, you can just grab the arrows and drag it to however you want. Let's see, let's have it here. Let's see. Well, maybe I think, oh yeah, that'll be fine. Pull out just a little bit more. It's not going to be a real big pool. I don't know if I really like that. I think what I'll do is I think I'm going to move my structure up. We're going to move the entire house and come up here, up to the move lot and houses, click on the move house, click on the house, and then I'm just going to drag it forward to just about right here. And then this way, it'll, well, that's too far. That's too far. Back one. Oops. Let's see. Yeah, that's better. And that way I've got much more room for my pool. It was just too close to the house before. Okay, oops. Let's drag this out a little further. Yes, that looks much better. Much better. One space there. Out one space here. Perfect. Okay, once you've got your pool placed how you want it. Oh, also, by the way, you can go ahead and, you can add, just like with the rooms, you could put, pools on top of pools, stuff like that to make it any kind of shape you want. So once you got your pool like you like it, you can come over here to the pool trim. And what this does is it adds a nice little trim around the line of your pool. I usually go with something like this. I think that one's good. This one's really wide. We don't need it to be that wide. I think we'll just do it like that. I don't think brown's what we want. I think maybe white. Yeah, that looks good. Just like that. And down here, this is the different color water that you can have for your pool. My favorite is this one, the Swimming Sparkles. I think that's a really nice blue. But you can do any one that you want. It also makes it cool because you can make it look like a natural type of water. So, yeah. So then you have here, you have all your different kinds of pool objects. You could add in the decals at the bottom of your pool like that. You could add your lights like this at the bottom or on the sides. You can add on your ladder, your pool ladder. One thing that I thought was really cool about The Sims was that the Sims don't actually need the ladder to get in and out of the pool. They could just jump in and get right out just like a regular person would do. These diving boards are pretty awesome because your sim can do all different kinds of dives and backflips. You have your steam, you have your bubbles, all that kinds of stuff that you could just place at will on your pool. So, and that makes it really nice. You can add floor tiles and wall tiles also to kind of change the look of it. Like that, or let's go with that one for this, and then we'll go with this, like that. I don't really like that. We're just going to go with the regular old, how it looks. Maybe put a ladder on there. Put a little ladder here. And then maybe a diving board also. I like this diving board a lot because when you are during gameplay, this has like a little waterfall coming out here and it looks kind of cool. We're not going to do that with this one, I don't think. I don't think we're going to have a diving board on this one. Nah. Okay, so we got our pool all done. You do the fountain is basically done the same way. You come over here to the fountains, you click on that. You have the same tools as you had with the pool. I can add, well, it's not really that much space to use that, but just to show you real quick, you do this tool the same way as with the pool, and it'll add your fountain there. Or you can, like I said, you can place it and then pull and drag. When that's selected, even though I used this, you can drag it, you know, any way you want to do it. Also, once you've got your fountain in, you can, it doesn't have a setting over here to pick the kind of water you want, but you can change the type of water with the same thing from the pools. So, and it does the same thing. So anyways, if you were going to have a fountain like this on your property, then you'll come over here to the fountain trims. Same thing as with the pool, but of course it's a fountain, so it's going to be a lip that's raised off the ground. These are your different water emitters for your fountain. Each one of these things do a different thing. You can't really see it so much when you're in this mode. You can't, it won't, of course, animate, but it kind of gives you a general idea of what it'll look like. So, but my fountain is way too small to put any of these on. So, you can see like that, how when I'm in gameplay, it'll just be shooting out like that. And that's how you do that. Also, you can add in any of these other fountain decorations. This is one of my favorite ones. I like this one. You can put this fountain on here, or you can place this right on the ground wherever you want. I think I'm going to go ahead and keep this fountain. Maybe put it, I don't know, maybe not. Let's see this one. How big is this one? Well, that looks good. That's cute. All right, we'll keep this one. So we'll put that fountain right there. So now let's get rid of this one. And this. Okay, that looks, I don't know, I think it looks awkward. No fountain. No fountain for you. Okay, and we are ready to start thinking about the landscaping of the property. The first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and move this gate to be more central to the stairs because I like symmetry. And then I'm going to come back here to the backyard. And since this is a little country-like house, I figured the Sims who probably buy this house are going to like to plant things. So we'll go ahead and make a little garden area for them over here in the corner, just like that. Good. So we are going to first cover the terrain paint. You have up here at the top, you have your paint tool and your erase tool. Just like the buttons are labeled, anything you have selected will be painted on. And then with this one, anything you have painted on there yourself that is not authentic to the original lot will be taken off by the eraser. You have these two different shapes of brushes. You can have the round or the square and all these different sizes. Beneath the brush sizes, you have this little slider here to adjust the softness and the sharpness of the paint you paint on. So I think for this little garden area, we're going to do the Patchwork Pavers. And when I have a big space like this, I think the easiest way to do it is to just put my brush exactly where I want it and then to click my mouse to paint it on. And then it gets painted evenly wherever I have the brush at. just like that. That looks good. And I think the only other place we're going to use the terrain paint is going to be up here in the front. I think we'll go with these cobblestones here. Oops, that is much too big. I think this one will do nicely. Oops, and I went out of the lines a little bit here, so I'll just erase it off, just like that. Nice. Oh, and we have to add our gate to the new fence that we made. So let me go ahead and grab that and put that there real quick. Perfect. Okay, now we can start picking out our different trees and plants that we want on the property. You come over here to this little tree and you will have listed here all the different kinds of garden stuff you can add to your property. This top one obviously is the trees. Then underneath that you have all the different shrubs or bushes. And below that you have your smaller flowers. And then, of course, your rocks at the bottom. I think what we're going to do here, just really quickly for some fast decisions, not that one. We want to have a hawthorn tree over here. And then a smaller tree like the beech tree right there. And then in the back here, let's go ahead and add some floor tiles surrounding the pool. Let's see, we'll go with that. Looks good. There, like that. I think you get a better view from above when you do this kind of thing. That. Like this. Perfect. And then so it doesn't look like, you just have a bunch of tiles on your grass. What I usually do is I'll fence those tiles in with one of these smaller fence lines. Let's try that one. We're going to start right here. I don't know. I think that looks too big. Let's go with this smaller one over here, this white one. Okay. Like this. Again, we'll probably have a better view from above. I'm going to stop my small fence here because if I go all the way to this fence with this cobblestone fence, it's going to add a pillar. Here, let me change the angle so you could really see it. And I don't want to have that on there. So I'm not going to go all the way to the fence on this small part. Go ahead and get the same fence and do the same thing to the other side. Just like that. And then what I'm going to do to kind of mask what I did here with the fence where I leave these gaps, I'm going to cover these gaps with some plants like these yellow flowers. One there. And one there. So it almost makes it look like it's okay to have it like that. I'm going to do the same over here on this side. Like that. Let me come down a level. If you come down to the level you're actually working on, you won't have the problem with the floating camera. Oops. Good. That's, I think, is good for some quick decisions on that. No, that doesn't look half bad at all. And now I think we have a really cute little country house that would have been done really quickly if I hadn't been explaining all the tools. I think it probably would have only taken about 20-30 minutes to do it. So yeah, that is it, guys. We have a really rather charming little country house, which I shall now name Country House. I don't want to keep the little on there because it's actually really not that little. It has 2 floors. I'm not going to go ahead and decorate the inside right now, but I will be doing that on my own later before I share it to the gallery, which, by the way, you can indeed find all my creations under my Simmerific username, Seaweed102. But yeah, thanks so much for sticking around to the end. I hope I demonstrated just how easy it is to build a pretty snazzy house, even if you are an absolute beginner. As I said earlier, this entire first series of SIMsational is going to focus on fine-tuning the basic building tools. Then moving beyond and into the future, I'll be covering everything from Create-A-Sim to actual gameplay, where I shall influence these cute little creatures to do things which really defy reality. Again, thanks for watching, guys. Please check out all my stuff linked in the description below. Subscribe, leave a comment, and or send an email. See you next time.